the Witch of Jasmine, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a reading for Scorpio moons. How are you today, Scorpio moons? I hope you're doing well. There we go. It's very nice to see you. Thanks for stopping by. I have a reading for you. So as I'm shuffling out your cards, I invite you to take some deep breaths to calm yourself, ground yourself, center yourself, get relaxed, get comfy. And let's see what we have to talk about today. One more. All right. Let's take a look at your cards. So for the Oracle card, we have Love with Libra and the water element. All right, and for your tarot cards, we have the Sun, Ten of Wands reversed, Three of Pentacles, King of Chalices, aka King of Cups, King of Wands, and Five of Wands. All right, Scorpio moons. This is an interesting one because I kind of feel like it's, I assume that at least for some of you, maybe most of you, this is a situation you're actively in or a lesson you are actively working to learn right now. Otherwise, this is just kind of something to keep in mind. And for whatever reason, now is the time the universe thinks you should be considering this idea. So it's not really, well, let me just tell you what I'm saying. All right, so we're talking about love today. We're talking about, and I do believe this is specifically a relationship. And it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic, I guess, but that's kind of how this feels. But really any relationship that does require a lot of work. So I should say like a partnership in some way, you know. But again, if I had to make a generalization, this definitely feels like, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, committed partner, marriage, like that kind of relationship, if I had to pick. But of course, I could look many different ways, right? An infinite amount of ways. So what we're talking about here is balancing emotional labor in a relationship or partnership with actually doing things, right? Whatever it is you're doing together. So like, taking care of a house, chores, right? Financial things, children, stuff like that. Balancing all of that, right? because Cups energy, King of Cups, is associated with the water element. So that's typically associated with relationships, but it's very much associated with emotions, feelings, your intuition, your inner world. And Wands is creative energy. It's associated with the fire element. It's about building and passion, ambition, and doing things, right? So we have that with the 10 of Wands reversed. And this is the real, heart of what we're talking about here. 10 of Wands, I like to call the plot twist card, because it's like, if we think of the story of Wands from Ace to 10, Ace is the beginning, 10 is the end, right? Where you're working super, super hard to get what it is that you want and you're looking for, and you finally get it at 10 at the end of this story. But plot twist, it's a lot more difficult than you thought it would be. So like the example I like to give, or the examples I like to give, number one is like getting into a university or college, right? You work so hard to get your high school diploma and do the applications and have the right GPA, ACT, SAT score, like all that stuff, just for you to get in. Like, yay, I did it, but oh my God, this is way more difficult than I thought it would be, right? Or maybe more in the context of the situation, right? In the context of a relationship, right? Maybe wanting to have a committed partner or marriage, and you finally get it, yay, hooray, you finally did it, but uh-oh, plot twist, it's way harder than you thought it would be. So when we have it reversed, that is a sign, when we have 10 of Wands in general, it's advising you to, it kind of implies that you're taking on more responsibility and burden than necessary. And it's likely that your best course of action is to delegate those things to someone else, either to lighten your own load or, by not doing things that aren't necessary, you might think are necessary, but actually aren't, or just passing off certain responsibilities to other people, reaching out for help also. So having it reversed, that's what we're doing. That tells me that is what you're doing, is maybe for the sake of this relationship, being like, okay, I'm taking on too much responsibility, or I'm doing too much of the emotional labor, or stuff like that. I'm paying for too much, whatever the case, right? And saying, I think we need to even the scales a little bit, right? And that's where this 3 of Pentacles comes in. 3 of Pentacles is about teamwork and collaboration. So I think with this relationship, it's really important that you keep that in mind, that both of you, of course, keep that in mind. That when it comes to both the emotional sides of things and the lovey-dovey stuff or whatever, the good vibes, but also when it comes to the more nitty-gritty physical doing things stuff, both sides of that coin need to be equal. And equal doesn't necessarily mean 50-50 on everything, right? Equal or balanced looks different ways to different people in different situations, right? That's why it's so hard. It sounds very easy, but it can be hard because it takes a lot of trial and error. It takes a lot of difficult conversations. It takes a lot of self-awareness to figure out what truly is balanced in your relationship, right? And what that specifically looks like for your specific situation. But it is so, so, so necessary. It is absolutely necessary work. The only thing I mean, if you couldn't tell already, this reading is overwhelmingly positive. Maybe I should just outright say that. It's looking good. With whatever this situation is for you, honestly, I would be feeling very optimistic if I were you. It's looking really good. Today, right now, it's looking really good. We do also have the sun here as well, which is just sunshiny energy, right? It's joy, it's optimism, it's positivity, it's light, love and light, you know? But the only thing that I would definitely caution you with is this Five of Wands here, which is very much, it's associated with fighting, but it's a very petty kind of fighting, kind of like bickering, you know? So just be careful to not do that, or at least don't get caught up in all of that, right? Perspective is everything. You're not supposed to be 100% happy all the time with each other, right? There's going to be things that get on your nerves, but looking at the big picture, and focusing on what really matters. And of course, maybe taking time away. I think a lot of times when people are bickering with each other, or are getting overly annoyed at small things, in my opinion, that usually means you need a little break. Just kind of a day to yourself, right? A little time apart. Not in a serious way, just, you know, we all need our alone time. We all need a little space to breathe, right? So nothing serious. I wouldn't be worried, but just keep that in mind. Yeah, I'm not sure if there's really much else I want to say with this reading. It's pretty straightforward. And I don't want to overcomplicate it. It's a very simple message, but an important one. Again, kind of like I was saying before, I would guess that for most of you, this is like something, because this is coming up at this time, this is something that you've been thinking about, or maybe, you know, you're in this situation with somebody. But if, you know, for those of you who are not really in anything right now, this kind of also feels like, hey, maybe you should just kind of keep this in the back of your mind, you know? Not saying anything's coming, because the reading isn't saying that, but usually these kinds of readings come up for a reason. So I'm just going to leave it at that. The Scorpio moons, if you have any questions about this, or if you'd like any part of this clarified, please let me know. You can leave a comment, or you can just reach out to me, whichever you prefer. On the shorts part of my channel, I have hundreds of shorts videos where I talk about each of the cards. I talk about their upright meaning, their reverse meaning, as well as any symbolism within the cards. So if you're feeling particularly drawn to any of them, or if you just like a little more information about any of them, I recommend you go check that out. But oh my, Scorpio moons, I feel so giddy. I was like kind of tired, you know, went into filming this like, okay, yeah, I gotta do this. I gotta put up this video tomorrow, you know. But like, I don't know. Now I'm just filled with this, like, you could probably hear it in my voice, I'm sure. This like giddy, excited energy. I don't know. Again, I really don't want to promise anything, but I don't know. Things are looking good and things are feeling really good. So I'm sending you lots of love, lots of good vibes, lots of good sunshiny energy. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.